Hello, everyone. My name is Jane Fong. I'm a real estate investor for over 10 years, and I quit my full-time job for 22 years in the IT industry and opened a real estate brokerage because I love real estate investing so much that I want to dedicate my time full-time into real estate investing. So today, what we want to talk about is how to vet a tenant. So as a landlord, one of the most important tasks that we need to do is to get good tenants into our properties. If we are lazy and we get a bad tenant, the consequences is going to be a year of trying to get the person out because LTV is so slow these days that it's going to take a long time to evict the non-paying tenants. So typically, when we ask tenants for documents, here are some of the examples that we ask from the tenants. Give us the 2 recent pay stubs, the employment letters, the work references, like the people that we can call, previous landlords contacts, get 2 of them if you can, like the 2 previous landlord, because the previous landlord may just want to get them out because they are the bad tenants. Ask the tenants for credit score reports from reliable sources like Equifax, other places, etc. However, we all probably have noticed that because our Photoshop technology are so good these days, even an iPhone can create fake documents. People may give you a Equifax report looking like this, oh, perfect score, whatever. But it turns out that it can be fake. Okay, they replace their own name to some other people's report. For example, I have received employment letters, and they're fake too. And also, work references, landlord references, the phone number, names, they could be all fake. They are just their friends. So what should we do to vet tenants? Because nowadays they fake it so well that even using like a microscope, you might not be able to tell the differences. Okay, because it was just so so fake so well. So what should we do? One of the techniques that I do are the followings. So on top of all the usual stuff that we have to do, I also do the following. First of all, I actually interviewed the tenants over Zoom call because when you talk to them and when you ask them question, if they lie, you actually can tell pretty easily, right? For example, if you ask them a question, where do you work? How long have you been working? Where's your workplace? The reference that you gave, who is that person? How long have you been working with them? They usually do not have all these detail all, created, right? How, like if you ask them, oh, does your boss have any kid? And then you try to ask them the same question in a different way, then they might not be able to make up the lie so perfectly. So I always interview the tenants over Zoom. I talk to them, face to face per se, virtually, and just to make sure I know them. And secondly, then I do a deeper investigation. So for example, we must do a third party check. What does that mean? It means that if they tell you that they're working in a location, like in a workplace, which is, ABC company, if that ABC company is really in business, they would have an online presence, right? There's no businesses these days that's who don't have a online presence. Then what we do is we go find the online presence publicly, right? Whatever way that they were advertising themselves, and we call and contact that company through a public channel and try to find that employee. So there was one time that I was vetting a tenant, and I just called their workplace and I go through the switchboard and ask for the person. When the person called, pick up my phone, they were really stutter because they were like, "Oh my God, you guys actually do call me through work," and yes, we do. Another thing that you could do is if the company is a little bit, bigger in scale, they might have a HR department. So I just simply directly call HR and, validate if the person is working there. And lastly, if the company is extremely big, right? If we talk about public company or, bigger company that has their own domain name and everybody works there would use their domain name, then I simply ask the tenants to send me an email from their workplace, because I figure, for most people, they won't be able to fake a domain name from a big company. That would be much harder to do for a normal person. So basically what I do is we have to be like a private investigator, right? Look at the LinkedIn, look at the Facebook, look at the friends, look at the Zoom info, look at the company info, check the address of the company, check the address of the previous landlord, see if the previous landlord is really, a landlord, check the company address if it is really an address. If you pass by, you can pay a visit, but I usually don't actually visit the workplace because it will be a lot of work. I found that just going through the online presence are already enough to validate if that business is a real business. And any of the references that they gave you, like a people, you have to double check that person is really the person. For example, if they are really working, a lot of the time, they would have a LinkedIn profile, right? So you do try to contact the reference that they give you through a third-party means. Don't just call the number they give you. So if they say that the work reference is Jane Doe, try to find Jane Doe from that workplace somewhere else to find the email or phone number. Don't just call the phone number that the tenants provide you, because it could be just their friends. So I hope that this video is helpful. And if you want to, invest into real estate, feel free to give me a call and reach out to me. I have a website at www.janefeng.ca, and my phone number is 647-872-0238. I love to talk, so just call me up and chat. If you wanted to have access to off-market properties, great investment property on market, or good things to invest in, I do have a real estate treasure map, which we will put and select investment properties inside this treasure map. So sign up for access to this treasure map, and it will deliver to you in the inbox monthly. So sign up on my website at www.janefeng.ca/contact-us. Thank you very much, and I hope this information is useful for you.